14 pages.
And we're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. I want to get started. I want to kind of like address the room real quick, okay? I want to address the room because I know a couple of people have been given access to the plan. Now, the plan is simple, and I wish to state this for Dark Viper's lawyer, Dark Viper himself, and all of his incessant retarded fans. Let's get started on the first aspect of this live stream. This is not a market replacement. This actually falls underlined with the doctrine of fair use for satire, parody, among others. This is in no way to be a market replacement for Dark Viper's video and his autistic obsession with calling reaction content watch parties. You and your lawyer can shove it up your ass. I live in America. I don't give a fuck what the Australian government has to say about my criticisms of Dark Viper and his recent video. I wish to say that, okay? I wish to say that to start this live stream. I do not care. This is fully under the fair use doctrine, what I am about to do here. Now, chat, you're wondering to yourself, Chris, how are you going to react to Dark Viper's video and it fall under his autistic obsession of fair use to his own content? Well, there is this beautiful thing that I have created with the help of a few people. Now, first, I want to give a shout out to Smaggle. Smaggle Daggle was the one that came up with this idea originally. Good. He can come after me all he wants. It's not going to work. Smaggle Daggle came up with this idea, DM'd it to me, and I sent it over to Confusing.
Dark Viper's episode.
Exactly. Now, Confusing, I asked him, hey, can we do this? And Confusing said immediately yes. Now, there was a couple of different renditions of this video.
Let's fucking go.
I'm wondering why there's an Xmas tree in my living room. I'm just lazy. Listen, Smaggle and Confusing really pulled out all the stops. I'm just the progenitor of their idea. And it will be listed public domain for other creators to react to the video to circumvent Dark Viper's bullshit DMCA claims. You are just like Quantum and Susie Lou, Dark Viper. You and your lawyer are pathetic little wretches. And I can say that, and I don't live in the UK where defamation law is cucked. You guys are wretches. You're little bitches that can't handle that people just make fun of your content. That's all it is. That's all it is. And I am so excited to show you, chat, the idea that me, Confusing, and Smaggle Daggle have created. Now, this is a new meta that I believe we are pioneering today, chat. A new meta. And when Diorio goes over this, he better give me a fucking shout out. Fuck you, Nick. But listen, this is going to be very, very interesting. Yes.
Rapist watch party.
Exactly. I don't care about Dark Viper's consent. I'll do whatever the fuck I feel like. Now, are you going to compare me to a rapist? I don't give a shit. Because it is content at the end of the day. I choose what I want to do. And on this channel, I have chosen to upload a video that is my own content, my own transformed media of your video, Dark Viper. Now, it's going to be interesting how this is played off. Is Dark Viper going to have a heart attack? Is his lawyer going to cuck to him and be like, oh, I can't believe this guy did that? Oh, I'm so excited, chat. If you haven't seen Dark Viper's new video, I'll show it to you. Let me pull this up. Dark Viper AU. How YouTube copyright blunder sparked a hate campaign against me because he's dumb as shit and doesn't realize when you file a DMCA, all legal proceedings and correspondence are sent to the other claimant. This dude is the fair use guy and doesn't know a goddamn thing about how YouTube's DMCA system works. It's beautiful. This video has been transformed to an almost haunting degree. I hope you enjoy.
That's just how it goes.
I hope you enjoy. Just hear me out, chat. Hear me out.
I have never, in my entire life, experienced the level of concentrated stupidity that I experienced in the story that I'm about to tell you.
Now, chat, you're saying to yourself, Chris, why is Tipster on the screen? And why does Tipster have a British accent? Or an Australian accent? Why is he on the screen right now? Oh! We removed Dark Viper in the entirety of this video. His face is blurred out of the video. None of his information's there. All it is the context that he's added with Tipster AI talking for Dark Viper and Tipster talking. So you can't touch me at all, bitch. You can't touch me at all. Go sue the companies that make AI then, you fuck.
Unfortunately, it is a bit long, and as I mentioned previously, really, really stupid. I therefore do not want to take the time to memorize this script that I have here, so that
Then why in the fuck did you make the video? What is the point of making the video, you fucking clown? Like, I don't get it. I don't have time. I'm gonna put together a video that is 45 fucking minutes bitching how YouTube didn't side with me the first time and complain and whine and then DMCA Chud for 6 more months. That's what you come across as a schizophrenic, as an actual fucking schizo. You don't know a damn thing about what you're talking about.
read it to the camera while looking at it. So to save time, I'm just going to directly read from my script. I'm sorry you're not going to have my beautiful eyes staring deep into your soul, but there you go. As you likely know, I'm not unfamiliar with people knowingly or unknowingly misrepresenting me on the internet, but this is the first time that YouTube...
What is misrepresentation? What is the misrepresentation? That somebody reacted to your video and said you look crazy and you sound crazy and your points are fucking dumb? How is that misrepresentation? How is that defamation? It's an opinion that someone has of you. My opinion is I think you can't handle criticism. And I think you're a little bitch. And I think you're not going to do anything. And your little dumb idea of how copyright should be handled is never going to change. U.S. law doesn't give a fuck about what the Australian nanny state says. We don't care. Don't care.
YouTube's own screw-up caused this to happen. On November...
It's not a screw-up when they declined it the first time. You kept harassing them about it to the degree that they were like, ah, fuck it, you know what? Are you kidding? You got a lawyer involved. YouTube's gonna step in when you have legal counsel. You, as the morally bankrupt fucking loser that has no friends nor family that you see at all, decided to waste your time on somebody doing criticism of a clip that you uploaded. Chud did not do what Hassan and XQC does and just sit there and eat food and say nothing. Chud adds actual more commentary to the video. EFAP does that with movie reviews. Other movie YouTubers do this. Do you want to completely eradicate the entire idea of these content creators and their livelihoods? Because you believe you're right? Fuck you, dude.
10th, 2023, I submitted a takedown notice to YouTube, but as someone re-uploaded one of my videos. A fairly standard procedure.
It's not a re-upload. A full re-upload is with zero commentary, zero transformation. A full re-upload. You're an idiot. I don't get why people think that you're smart.
Usually met with no resistance, and something I've done for years. This time, though, YouTube wrongly rejected this notice, then proceeded to, for months, ignore literally every email sent to them by me or...
Dude, I swear to God, if I was the YouTube representative, and you kept fucking DMing me, and saying, please look at this, I know, you told me no before, I know, but please look at this again, I'd be annoyed too. I'd fucking ignore your shit as well.
My lawyer, instead firing back an automated response every single time. It wasn't until a month and a half later on December...
Yes, this is AI Tipster. This is Dark Viper.
December 24th, 2023. That Sony YouTube seemingly noticed this irregularity and sent a further email stating, hello, please disregard the previous message. That being their most recent automated response. We received your complaint and determined it requires further examination. We'll get back to you once we've completed our review.
See, this is the thing. They completed the review, determined it to not be a full re-upload of your content. They determined that, and you kept harassing them until they snapped and were like, fuck it. Whatever. Fine. Like, do you not realize this here? Please disregard previous message. Received your claim and determined it requires further examination. They declined you. They declined you initially. How don't you just take the L?
Complaint and determine it requires further examination. We'll get back to you once we've completed our review. It took YouTube a further 3 months to finally respond. On March 20th, 2024, it was at this point they finally actually read the case and took down the video I submitted a takedown notice to.
After multiple months of beratement and annoyance. Like, how do you think that this is a good idea and a good look for you, Dark Viper? How does his retarded fan base of fucking dumbasses think that this is a good thing to do? You're putting the ecosystem of YouTube at harm. Because once one thing changes, then someone else is going to find another issue for something to change. Then the domino effect happens to where all reaction-based content, whether that's commentary or otherwise, will start to be scrutinized by the government. Why do we want the government involved in shit? I get you come from a nanny state fucking country where you can't do shit, but bro, America doesn't give a shit. Most countries don't give a fuck. And you trying to push this narrative that people should listen to you is crazy. Stop trying to change the law. It's just going to cause more oversight, more issues.
Something it should have done on day one. What a colossal shitfest. If this dispute had remained private, that would have been one thing. YouTube's error and lack of review of this case led to some of the most dishonest and downright disgusting people to lie about you repeatedly to the masses. These people were ignorant of most details, so they just made shit up. What they did know and didn't like, they just selectively ignored. So that's a basic overview of the story, but let's get into the nitty-gritty details. On November 10th, someone posted in my Ask Me Anything Discord, "Are you going to respond to this guy?" And he linked the video. Dark Rapper is sealing about Jack.
Notice how we didn't put him in any thumbnail either. His face will not be present throughout this entire video. His entire face will not be present.
Jack's to him stealing his thunder. Obviously, this title being clickbait and not representative of my actual emotional state or perspective. To this I said, why would I respond to a re-upload of my video? What this user had linked was
It is not a re-upload. It's an in-context clip to go over it to provide full context of what Chud is talking about when there was a 9-minute video reacted to for 35 to 40 minutes. That is extensive amount of coverage to be able to determine that fair use. Stop it.
Recently uploaded a reaction to my video. Am I jealous of Jack's film success with Credit the Creators? This reaction being done by the reactor, Chud Logic.
Raped by Jack.
I came to learn that Chud hosts watch parties, group discussion sessions of other.
I love that you just consider it watch parties. It's not just watch parties. A watch party can be determined based on if a retard like Hassan or XQC or Miskiff or any of these fucking React Andy Pokimane people that just eat food and say fucking nothing and let a YouTube video play. That is a watch party. If an individual takes the time to research, look things up, add 8... Bro, the clip in of itself is not even the rest of it. There's a whole 8-hour VOD segment with multiple different topics. That is transformed. And you not getting that is shocking to me.
The people's creative works quite frequently. He plays the original video in full, without alteration, traditionally ignorant of the contents of the video beforehand.
I wanted to watch this because... oh, wrong thing. Here we go. Apparently this,
I love that confusing fucking blurred.
this video is very funny, so I guess we'll see. Let's watch this video. So it's, am I jealous of Jack's film's success with Credit the Creators?
Yes, you are. You are jealous. You are jealous that somebody gave a shit about Jack's film's situation with Sniper Wolf. Blatantly. And it's obvious. You whined about it. You whined about it. Like, what? You're a pussy. Stop wearing this tank top like you think you're a badass or some shit.
As I have explained to death, this overtly violates fair use law, which surprised me Chud was willing to admit multiple times in his reaction.
Obviously, I am biased because I do react to things. I, feel I do a fair use job, even though not legally, but ethically. I kind of react to stuff pretty heavily. It's legal.
Chud, you kind of misspoke there. You misspoke a little bit. I feel like legally and morally, you are okay to do this. If you are somebody that is just reacting to content, taking the time, extrapolating on your thoughts, adding more context and your own opinions to a video, I believe legally you're okay to do that. I have no issue with that. I'm pretty sure most lawyers would also not debate that. And your lawyer being a fucking cuck for you, and I'm talking to the lawyer directly now, is insane that you turn around and you try to pretend that Dark Viper has a case here. That's crazy, dude.
Legally, I think that all of them fall under the same issue with, you know, full reacting to the content that exists. Like, if you watch a 30-second TikTok, right? I don't think that's a big deal, and I think ethically or morally, it's not that big crazy a thing. But from an IP perspective, you have
like, this is the thing, Dark Viper. You do nothing. Nothing. You use an IP from a video game. You use Rockstar's IP. You use it. Thank you. Thank you for the 5. Dark Viper, you use an IP of Rockstar. If Rockstar turns around and just says, you know what? They woke up one day and said, fuck it. We don't want anyone reacting to any of our content whatsoever, much like you, and just started DMCAing you left and right, I'm pretty sure you would bitch and moan about it. I'm 90% sure. I would say 99% sure, because that's your income. You're a full-time content creator, from my understanding. If Rockstar decided to fuck you over like that, you would be screaming from the rooftops to get help. You would.
breach that person's IP, and they could legitimately file a DMCA request against you if they wanted to.
From an IP perspective, you have breached that person's IP. That's for the 30-second clip involving a TikTok. And I don't even agree with Chud on that. If you are going to actually react to the 30-second TikTok and build a lot more stuff to it and a lot more context and a lot more information, unlike Sniper Wolf, who just sat there and went, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is not enough. The bar needs to be set to the example of someone like Chud, which is crazy. I'm not doing this just because I am friendly with Chud. I have argued these debate points before. I argued a false DMCA striker. I argued with this guy, and he was the most infamous one in years, the most infamous DMCA abuser in years. And you are acting just like he did, Dark Viper. You are. You're acting like Quantum TV, almost to a haunting degree, minus the doxing.
Same with Asmongold Reacts. Yes, he talks a lot, but it includes the entire video.
I don't get how that's a fucking own.
I don't really care that it's illegal. I care more than it is grossly immoral for reasons I've also...
it's grossly immoral just to react to my content. Fuck you, man. You put it on YouTube. You put it on YouTube. It is up to scrutiny, reaction, anything. Repurposed in any context. That is all works. If it is transformed, your people are fine. And you don't like that. You have this autistic obsession with the idea that any form of reaction falls under the blanket statements and blanket idea of what XQC and Hassan does. That is not the case. That's not the case. Like, you fucking dumbass.
Explained to death. I have no problem with commentary content. People making their own videos that require some use of other people's work for context. In fact, there are even some limited cases where I am okay with reaction content. For example, if you want to react to your own work or other people's work that you are personally involved in. I'm fine with people watching advertisements and often even live events, assuming you're an official rebroadcaster. It is the people sitting around watching other people's videos in order to re-upload them to YouTube and avoid any work themselves that I dislike.
This is the thing. I will never say reaction content is highbrow fucking content. I have been on the record to say reaction content and live streaming is the laziest content imaginable. Nobody is arguing that. Nobody is arguing that. but it still falls within line of fair use and fair use doctrine if you add and transform it from a commentary basis. Is this Tipster AI? Yes, it is. It is Tipster AI. And Tipster is talking on behalf of Dark Viper. It's not his video anymore. Dark Viper's not even in the video. He's not. It's not his video anymore. It's my video.
Consequently, I filed a takedown notice of the re-upload of my work and the live stream it was in. I have done this in the past.
Also, to the idiots that will try and flag anything anti Dark Viper, this is for the YouTube team. I am disclosing publicly that this is a use of AI on the platform. This is a use, it is disclosed, and I will put it also in the description, and it already is for the video once it is released publicly. So please, do one of these to the people that will flag this video. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
For that issue, but this was the first time I had to do it since I made my videos explaining in great detail the market harm of reaction content. I submitted both notices around the same time, the live stream still being public at that point. I only note this because some believed I did them separately and that a live stream was unlisted. Some people seem unaware that it does take time for YouTube to process these claims, giving time for a live stream to become unlisted. It is also possible that it was unlisted, but I found it via a playlist. I honestly don't remember. This event wasn't particularly noteworthy at the time. Some people, particularly stupid people, asserted that I attended to take down Chud's re-upload because of the things he said alongside it. I apparently didn't like that Chud criticized me.
It is obvious you didn't like that Chud criticized you. You literally said in the email that Chud might commit defamation, or that he may have committed defamation for calling you an AIDS patient. Are you kidding me? You got called an AIDS patient. Get over it. Get over it. If anything, to me, you look like a gay guy around Miami. In that outfit, bro, you kind of look a little gay. And if you are, that's cool. I'm totally fine with that. But I'm going to be real. You look like you moonlight around Miami at the middle of the night. You do. Like, I won't call you an AIDS patient. I'll just say you're gay.
Only did I not know this person at the time, but I gave about as much thought to this strike as a person gives to flicking a fly off their shoulder.
The amount of narcissism, the amount of bullshit that's coming out of that mouth. Well, I didn't even think about it. I just thought, it's like a fly off my shoulder. I didn't even care. Yes, you do. If you didn't care, you would have handled the first ruling by YouTube, and then after that, wouldn't have pursued it further, and then asked YouTube not to give the emails to Chud. You cared. You cared so fucking much. That's a lie. I'm stating that. To me, in my humble opinion, that is a lie. So please, you're so stupid, dude.
It appeared as if this person's main claim to fame was being a sentient potato.
Right?
If my thumbnail being included in the re-upload doesn't suggest the quality of this video, I suspect the question, raped by Jack, and
oh my God, God forbid that you are put in the thumbnail of a video of a commentary YouTuber that is talking about you. This is Susie Lou level bullshit. This is Susie Lou level bullshit. You can't copyright your face. And if you try to, I'm pretty sure you're going to look like a deranged schizophrenic to the patent office. You're like, yeah, you know what? I want to copyright my face. What? You make public-facing YouTube videos, you fucking dumbass.
the person being named Chud Logic gives you as much understanding as you need. I think my lawyer said it best when she unprompted stated that Chud seemed to express absolutely zero understanding of a single thing I talked about in my video. This obviously makes it very hard to care about what he said, let alone what someone that stupid has to say about anything.
So you're trying to, so you're catching Chud on these specific aspects that you and your lawyer, which your lawyer is fleecing you for filing this shit, allegedly, and an opinions. But you're getting, come on, like, let's just be real. You're wasting your time. Like, what is this? Yes, did Chud potentially say things that you might not agree with? Totally fine. But that doesn't take away from his criticisms of you being a schizophrenic that is autistically focused on DMCA.
People think he's an obsessed schizo.
Yes! How is that wrong?
I'd never speak to this freak. There's no fucking way. He's a despicable, pretentious... Want nothing to do with him. Lose.
So true. So true. Why does anyone even work with Dark Viper, bro? Who does it? No one. No one wants to talk to Dark Viper. The reason I know that is because people have been leaking DMs to me all fucking day with Dark Viper. I don't know if I'm allowed to show those, but Mateo, whatever the fuck your name is, apparently he says that on live stream all the time. Dark Viper. No one likes you. Nobody. I don't think a single goddamn person likes you, dude. No one. Not a single fucking person likes you.
He's a fucking loser. He's pathetic.
This is Dark Viper's video script.
He's a pathetic little fucking
Oh, there's more. There's more DMs. There's a lot more that Dark Viper posted.
wretch, as far as I'm concerned. Wait, what? What does that mean? I don't even understand what he means by that. What difference does that make? How is that a different I don't understand the difference. Why does that make a difference? But yeah, no, he's a fucking despicable little I really dislike this guy. I think he's a piece of shit. Yeah, I don't know. I just think he's a little rat. He's just got this autistic obsession. It's obviously long.
He is a rat. He's a rat. He's a snitch and a rat. Like, it's nothing different.
Because this guy's an autistic freak. This guy is a little autistic freak who types out
True.
essays and DMs. He's extremely
True.
pretentious. What an autistic little unlikable freak he is.
My only interest was whether or not he re-uploaded my video in full. Obviously, I had better things to do with my time.
Then why strike him? If you saw that he had sufficient amount of commentary for the information and the amount of coverage he did compared to the original work, why strike it in the first place then?
If while watching my video, he had discovered the cure for cancer and whistled the solution out his arse, I still would have struck him, because, as I've made abundantly clear, I find reaction content grossly immoral and harmful to the ecosystem. This is something I have not kept secret. In fact, I've shouted from the rooftops for half a decade, making any other conclusion as my possible motivations bewilderingly stupid. When I struck the video, my expectation was that it would go through as normal, Chud might be dumb enough to dispute it, which would mean we would go to court, and we could get our first case that would specifically judge Watch Party.
Oh! So now I see what's happening. Now I see what's happening. You wanted to make Chud an example. You wanted to make an example of him. That's at least my interpretation of that. The reason I'm thinking that is because you wanted to go to court. You were hoping Chud was going to do that so you could take it to court and have your gay little time in the limelight to try and change copyright law. That's how it comes across to me, in my opinion. And in America, I can have my fucking opinion. Unlike the UK, where Chud has to get cucked by defamation law, apparently.
In regards to fair use. The guidelines, and every case related to fair use I'm aware of, suggest you could not use a fair use defense for hosting a watch party of a copyrighted work.
You keep saying it's a watch party. It isn't. It's interaction. There's commentary overlaced with it. Their own opinions, their own information. They pull up other things to combat the video in of itself. That is minimal transformation right then and there without additional fancy editing. Shut the fuck up.
Most people seem unaware of this, so maybe this was a chance for people to be informed. To my surprise, my claim didn't go through and YouTube requested more information. So I answered their questions in full, to which they immediately rejected my claim.
Why are we watching Tipster? This is Tipster. Tipster made a great video on Dark Viper. If you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, you missed my whole explanation of what this video is.
This was confusing.
Go watch the beginning of the stream. Whoever is confused why Tipster is on the screen and not Dark Viper, just scroll back a few minutes.
Because YouTube is no legal body. It has no authority to declare what is or is not a violation of law.
But they they are able to determine if it is a unnecessary claim in the first place. On top of that, they also have to share correspondence with the claimant that you are filing against. Bro, you don't understand how this shit works. It's shocking to me. And you demanded that YouTube not share the email chain with Chud? How do you not know that they have to release that? I received all emails that I got from fucking Quantum trying to DMCA people and trying to threaten to DMCA me. I got all of those emails that he sent to YouTube.
or what violations of copyright can be defended by an affirmative defense of fair use. It makes sense that public pressure would embolden YouTube to reject obviously frivolous claims, but in this case,
Yes, it was you provided a frivolous claim. You did. You did. As somebody that is a part of the YouTube ecosystem and understands the fragility of the YouTube ecosystem, you filed a frivolous claim. There is no debate, no fucking options there. You did that. And to people that are defending you saying that you didn't, shock me.
literally, my entire work is re-uploaded on another person's channel, and they have always taken down such instances before. In the re-upload itself, the person states that they do not believe they have the right
because it is maybe a full re-upload, not somebody doing a reaction to the content. Most likely it was a full re-upload. YouTube allows you to DMCA videos that are full re-uploads, and they don't question it because it is proven to be a full re-upload.
to host a watch party of my work. They openly admitted their guilt. Despite this, I had no luck poking YouTube with a stick to try to get information out of them, and
So you whined to YouTube like a bitch. That's what we're getting at here. You kept complaining, you kept whining, you kept doing the Randall thing from Recess where you're like, oh, they're having fun. Oh, God, how come they're not following the rules? How you teacher, they broke the rules. Bro, that's what you're acting like right now.
any evidence I was not just getting automated responses, I asked my accountant, who works with a lot of high-profile creators, if
Let's read this. Hey guys, would you happen to know any good lawyers who understand the space I exist and or the nature of copyright law? Need to hire representation? I figured Googling is unlikely to give me good results. Any advice would be appreciated. Hi. It was great to see you at PAX. Oh my god. I hope you are well and given you need to hire a lawyer. The lawyer most of our content creators use, blank. We have a few other clients, blank, that have media team. Kind regards. This lawyer sucks. He's like, please, can you get me a lawyer? Chud Logic made mean jokes about me.
if they knew any lawyers who do the same. I was referred to someone, and I got into contact.
Also, to the context of these emails, Dark Viper, you've made these public. We just screenshotted them and interlaced this into the video. So please, try me.
with these people. It is important to understand that these conversations were happening in normal people time, not internet time. It took 2 weeks just to get a lawyer and explain to them the situation. And in that time,
Oh, what was that situation?
not internet time. It took 2 weeks just to get a lawyer.
Hi, Dark Viper. Let's have a quick chat over the phone. In the first instance, as I would like to gather some information from you and explain a little bit how our firm works. Depending on how you wish to proceed, we would then team up with one of our senior solicitors that is well-versed in the main area of the issue to oversee the matter. You can reach me at blank. I look forward to speaking to you then.
And explain to them the situation. And in that time, an insanely deranged shitstorm was happening on YouTube and Twitter. I'll be honest, I didn't
Yes, because you suck. You DMCA'd somebody. Everybody on YouTube doesn't like people that DMCA people for no reason. Shut up. You actual brainlet.
much attention to it as I was busy, but one of my moderators did gather information for me to give to the lawyers. Chud Logic alone made 21 tweets and 4 videos about me. He even got himself temporarily suspended for saying suicide is too good for me and those who watch me.
Okay, listen. Little far, but Chud's making a fucking very, very fucked up joke. The fact that your lawyer...
Me to give
Hold
to the
on.
lawyers. Chud Logic
The fact that you collected every one of these tweets is autistic. Like, bro, how does any fan look at Dark Viper and think, you know what? This is totally a good use of your time, man. This is totally normal. This is normal behavior. Who thinks that? Look how crazy this shit is.
alone made 21 tweets.
Apparently it was his mods. I don't know what's worse, who collected the info. I don't care. He has a document with everyone's tweets. Just because they were shitting on him, that he DMCA'd someone for no fucking reason. Is that not insane?
And 4 videos about me. He even got himself temporarily suspended for saying suicide is too good for me and those who watch me.
A little
Even
far.
now,
A little far, but it's Chud. It's Chud.
he is still crying like a child for getting caught re-uploading.
You literally have uploaded a video saying this isn't that big of a deal. and you make a 40 to 50 minute video of it, and Chud's crying like a child, and you threaten to sue him for defamation, but Chud is acting like the child here. What the fuck is wrong with you?
A video. For some reason, he is just incapable of making his own shit. Weird. In fact, while making this video, my lawyer called me to state that they watched Chud's recent livestream that covered his view getting taken down. They did this largely as formality to assess potential impact to their firm. To loosely quote their assessment, what an absolute moron. It is
Oh my God, the lawyer said he was stupid. Wow, that's great. How's that going to hold up when you try to sue YouTube as well? I'm pretty sure YouTube's just going to be like, yeah, go fuck yourself. The Millennium Copyright Act doesn't give a shit about what Australia has to say. Most people in the world don't care what Australia has to say, what Australian law has to say. No offense to my Australian viewers, but your government sucks. Like...
shocking that someone can openly, on one hand, admit that he knows nothing about the law and legal procedures, yet also confidently assert as true things that even a child should know are wrong. They further reiterate that I could sue him for obvious defamation.
Defamation for what? Calling you an AIDS patient? For saying that you're a schizophrenic and that you write crazy shit in people's DMs? How is that defamation? There is a cataloged history of you being a schizophrenic. A cataloged history. What are you talking about? Explain that to me. Explain it to me. Because I heard that dumb fucking law student on Chud's channel. And that dude didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Which, again, I expressed I have no intention of doing. Chud does not even have enough money to cover my potential legal fees.
Then why the hell are you DMCAing him and hoping that he goes to court? And that you have your first idea and first victory of having a conversation in the court system to change copyright law? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I do admit that it was somewhat inhumane for me to subject a normal person to the creature that is Chud logic. No one
The creature that is Chud logic.
should have to listen to themselves be called a stupid bitch a dozen times.
You are a stupid bitch.
However, it was interesting listening to a normal person be somewhat frustrated, having listened to a moron misunderstand.
Because your country is full of nannies. They're a bunch of pussies. They can't handle being called a bitch. Oh my God. You guys can't even own guns. Pathetic.
And lied for clout.
I'm gonna get sued by the Australian government for defamation.
Welcome to my world. She further expressed her annoyance at YouTube's bot-run system, as she knew that if she could have just talked to a person for 5 minutes, this would have been resolved 4 months ago.
Do you want to know something? Even the YouTube employees would most likely be like, this is kind of like a gray area. We can't really determine this. We're not going to put the strike through. Most of the time they would do that. But then you have one asshole that if you're talking to a lawyer, YouTube gets terrified of hearing the word lawyer and will do whatever you say because you have a lawyer and the money to do that. Chud does not have that option.
Apparently there were 25 tweets and 20 videos
This is my favorite part.
made by others that were noteworthy as well, but obviously this is just a small snapshot of the
Hey, Nerdy John.
conversation, a little cesspool.
Boblax, Nerdy John
The
again.
internet was
Look, who's that? Who's that, chat? Who's that? Who is that? Who is that? Beautiful, handsome man. They made a great thumbnail with Chud looking like an old man that pulled a gun on protesters and Dark Viper looking like he's struck with AIDS. Who is that beautiful YouTube channel? Is me. Notable tweets. He also listed every tweet from Xander Hall to Tipster, the sub to Optimus, to Turkey Tom, to Confusing My Editor, to Glitch, to Comment Cop, to Cam, to Boblax, to myself and others. This dude is insane.
Now at this point, I had not said anything publicly, and people seem confused why. But if any of these people had even 2 brain cells to rub together, they wouldn't have been so confused.
It's not even confused. We know. You are a bitch and false DMCA. You're a faggot. You flag things. Like, that's what it is. This is a petty DMCA issue. That's all it is. Petty DMCA. And you fucking know it.
Chud leaked the statement I gave to YouTube's board when it rejected my claim. I said outright that I was fully willing to go to court for this issue, and when you may go to court, it is in your best interest to shut the fuck up. As my lawyer pointed out, much of the shit other people said rose to the level of defamation, and I would—
Oh my god, rose to the level of defamation? I called you a loser. So did everybody else, and said what you did was wrong. How can our opinions be defamation? That's crazy to me. Because we tried to make Tipster sound Australian. How is our opinion defamation? It's an opinion. I think you're a spineless coward. I think you're a spineless creature. That's my opinion of you. That's not defamation. That's me, based on your actions, coming to an opinion that you suck.
be in my legal right to sue many of these people, especially—
You're gonna sue us for tweets. This is a lawsuit. This is a lawsuit waiting to happen, bro. Try us. What is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? All because we made fun of you a little bit. That we poked fun at the idea and the bullshit DMCA filing that you did. You are Quantum TV, but white. You are white Quantum.
especially Chud. Fortunately for them, I'm both not litigious, and honestly, it is unlikely any of them have enough—
I'm not litigious, says the man who hired a lawyer for potential defamation and DMCA filing to Chud Logic. But I'm not litigious. Okay, dude.
money that even if I took it all, that I would even notice having it. It was only after realizing this process of getting YouTube to actually read the claim was going to be slow that I decided to wrap my own tweets—
JFA, your face is frozen, first. Second, he would be too terrified to even leave his goddamn house. He has no idea how to communicate with people. He hasn't seen his family or had a girlfriend or talked to his friend in years because he can't balance his life out because he's autistic.
debunking some of the more obvious falsehoods, much of which I've already covered in this video. So we're now 2 weeks in, and I now have my lawyer. They agree I had a case, and so submitted a formal DMCA takedown request to YouTube. They cited relevant legal statutes and cases, and expressed their willingness to argue the case in court, which is necessary for finding a takedown anyway. Surprisingly, they got the exact same automated response I did. This obviously confused them. So they sent another message to YouTube, and again, got the same automated response I did. My lawyer, while on the phone with me, expressed their annoyance, saying, I don't think they're actually reading the emails. Hey buddy, welcome to my world.
You guys are fucking idiots. Oh god, yes, YouTube has an automated bot system. But the thing is that if, like, let's say hypothetically that H3H3's contacted YouTube, read over that email, and saw what Chud did, at the worst they could say that Chud made fun of you, and that it was demonetizable, but not strike worthy. I'm pretty sure a rep, an actual content creator rep, would look at that and go, yeah, this is bullshit. I'm pretty sure one of the reps would say that's bullshit.
There was of course little else to be done but just to try again. My lawyer sent a message that was the legal equivalent of motherfuckers read the goddamn emails, and they still, again, got another automated response. This time though, they quickly received another email from an actual person where they retracted their previous automated response and said they would look into it. This being the December 24th email that I read to you in the beginning.
But you said that this wasn't a big deal and you flicked it off like a fly. But you kept harassing YouTube about it. Like, what?
We waited. And waited. I am being a bit dramatic here. I just continued to work as normal and largely forgot about it. It was
bullshit. Bullshit.
As an untouched territory that could be colonized.
True. Bullshit that you pretended that and you forgot that this was going on. You wouldn't keep paying the lawyer, and you wouldn't make a video about it, and you wouldn't ask YouTube not to leak the emails if you stop caring about it. Like, what is wrong with you?
It wasn't like waiting for YouTube was costing me anything at this point, and waited some more. for a response to a case that was clear-cut from day one, until eventually we are tired of waiting. And I just so happened to have gotten a new YouTube partner manager, so I asked them to remind the copyright team that they still had not responded to the case. This lets—
Oh, so now you have a YouTube partner manager. Interesting. I'm pretty sure the partner managers talk. I'm pretty sure they talk. But the partner manager didn't make the determination on that. It was a YouTube employee, right? So did you show the YouTube partner manager what happened? Did you show them the content? Did you show them the video and say, hey, can we strike this? Doesn't sound like it so far.
them finally coming back 4 months after I filed the claim, where they said they would take down the videos. What a colossal shitfest. So what does this all mean? Firstly, DMCA as a mechanism for combating reaction content is not without its hurdles. Getting YouTube to read an email from a prestigious law firm on a fairly basic issue—
A prestigious law firm. You've got to be shitting me.
cost about $3,000. This, of course, would be pricey for the average YouTuber. Fortunately, it meant little to me.
That's why there's a bit of an issue here. You have the money to take someone to court, while Chud does not. You are DMCAing a smaller YouTuber because they reacted to your content and made fun of you. Do you see the imbalance here? Do you see the issue here?
The second takeaway from this situation is that even if you have every right to file a takedown notice against some content, there is still the potential for backlash. The general public, and hell, many YouTubers, are grossly uninformed and misinformed about these systems, and as I have painstakingly argued in my videos, the harm that reaction content represents to us all.
What harm? The actual people that take the time to do reactions, much like myself, Chud Logic, Nicholas Diorio, every other commentary YouTube streamer, we take the time to do that. So does that mean any one of us should just be nuked off the platform because we want to do content this way? We'd rather have an interaction. We'd rather review the video in its full context to be able to give the full context necessary. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not creating a market substitute. This is my individual opinions, my individual criticism. This is nothing of yours. And same with Chud. Just because your video is in it does not make it yours now. Still, just because Chud talked during the video, when it was going, he wasn't talking while the video was playing. He took the time to elaborate on his points, elaborate on the things that are going on, elaborate on your points, to create a dialogue. And you can't handle that dialogue.
All that being said, since I made the claim against Chud Logic, I have struck 2 almost identical reaction videos, with one being accepted immediately and the other not. The one that was not accepted though, just for quite a basic follow-up email to YouTube, and then it too was taken down. To be clear, these were taken down before the resolution with Chud Logic, so they were unrelated. But it's obvious these systems need more qualified human oversight. So that covers all the main events, but there is a bit more. I found someone kind enough to sift through all the garbage to find the more noteworthy videos that attempted to cover these events. The first was made by Tom Dark, aka Turkey Tom, who is a drama commentary YouTuber. The handful of his videos I've seen over the years makes me suspect that we would disagree about pretty much everything on most topics.
What the fuck?
However, his video was largely neutral, even if disagreeable in large part because Tom put forth no effort into learning about my viewpoint on reaction content. I get the sense that Tom treats most of this stuff like a game, and he doesn't really give much of a shit about most things either way.
I don't give a shit about you. The reason I'm reacting to this is because I know it pisses you off. And what you did to Chud was wrong. And even Tom said it was wrong. Optimus said it was wrong. Bo Black said it was wrong. Every goddamn motherfucker who is a YouTube content creator would also say, this is wrong.
Today we're going to be talking about DarkViperAU. He's been talking about the exploitation that some reactors like XQC and Hassan Piker enact on YouTubers when they watch their content on their streams and don't really add anything. I dislike when my view is characterized by disagreement over people adding to the content, as this is what others complain about but not me. It would be irrelevant to me if the video XQC was watching was about what it was like to live with severe brain damage, something he could provide sincere insight into. It would be equally as irrelevant to me if Hassan Pike was watching a video about how to exploit people for fame and fortune while being a lying hypocrite, something that appears to be the only thing he actually has expertise in. It wouldn't matter to me because addition is irrelevant to my issues with reaction content. To give a very, very brief summary, my issues are with the market impact of reaction content. We have two groups of people, reactors and creators, but only one of these puts forth effort and incurs risk and cost. Both, however, and
I feel like I've put a lot of effort into this. Listen, this is a whole new level of reacting. I'm a trailblazer now. I'm a trailblazer, chat. Oh, dude. Creators are a very group. Just because one person reacts and one person makes content doesn't mean that it's still not content, that it's still not content creation. You are the only one making that arbitrary line. The reason you're making that arbitrary line is because it fits what you want it to be. What we should be is just content creators in general. That's what we should be. But for you and your autistic fixation on what you what you believe is fair use in your world doesn't work with the rest of the world, and you don't like that. You made an entire 14-page document about this shit.
Up with the same product for the market, even if one might spend a month and another media an hour to achieve that. This is quite obviously not a fair or balanced system. In regards to viewer distribution, I view reactors as an inefficient secondary middleman. You can picture this as two competing models. One where viewers engage with algorithms and are directed to creators, and another where viewers engage with algorithms, are directed to reactors, and then go to creators. My claim is that that second model is inefficient by design and can only result in a net loss of value for creators as an aggregate. Reactors give value to creators in a similar way that slot machines give wealth to their users. They take from them far more than they ever give back.
That doesn't... Yes, with a large Twitch streamer that doesn't do any sort of actual reaction, and that individual doesn't even show the video, doesn't shout out the video, doesn't talk about the video, those people are stupid. They're bad at their fucking job. They're bad at being streamers and reactors. They're bad at it. But if somebody goes the extra mile to shout that out, to talk about it, to keep the video listed here, that always tends to redirect to another channel. Not all the time, but a majority of the time, that usually works. I've had other channels that got a little bit subscriber boosts from videos like me. So, like, I don't get that. I don't understand that argumentation point. If that reactor is lazy as shit and just sits there and eats food and says nothing and just watches the video and collects super chats, yeah, I'm on board with that. That's bad. I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing the people that add a little bit more effort into it. The ones that actually try to follow in with the commentary fair use doctrine. Like, I don't understand how you just want to remove that part of it and just say, well, blanket statement, all reaction channels are cancer and bad.
Is after all their purpose, and both reactors and slot machines would cease to be if they failed to do that. Reactors exist to increase the time people spend watching reaction videos, and by necessity, reduce the time they spend doing anything else. They are not designed to give value, they are designed to extract it. As far as the value given by reactors to viewers, all that...
Also, Dark Viper doesn't add anything additional. He's a dude that does speed runs of GTA, using an IP that Rockstar can rip away from him whenever they feel like. If they just woke up one day and were like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to strike all of his channel. They could do that. Which is fucked. I wouldn't want that to happen, but that's their IP. He's using their game, their gameplay, their cutscenes. He's using all of that. He's using artwork that describes from that information and from that IP. That's the bullshit part. At any point.
Value can be given through...
Hey, Thomas, how about you suck my dick?
other forms of content and thus is irrelevance. In other words, XQC and Asan, if they can manage to extract their heads from their asses, can make their own bloody videos. Much of the rest of Tom's video expresses confusion why I would strike a reaction video from a small channel that would at best only have a small impact on me. But anyone who knows of my work would understand that I view reactors as parasites that extract value from creators. Therefore, anything that impedes that extraction gives some benefit to someone.
So your idea is that you're just morally superior because you make videos versus reactions. So you have a moral superiority complex. That's what it is. That's what it is at its core. You believe that there is such a definitive difference between somebody that does a reaction live stream and somebody that makes a fucking video. I don't get this. I don't understand this. If you're somebody that cares about the actual ecosystem of content creation, all content other than ones that involve doxing, harassing, exploitation of children, the obvious ones, right? All of the, like, those need to be removed. But people that are just doing content to however they want to make content is fine. If they're not lazy and they don't break the law, who cares? Who gives a shit?
Even if it isn't me. Now, this video is a reaction to Dark Viper. Make no mistake, like, it is a reaction video. He watches the entire thing in full. But it's 35 minutes.
Confusing. You put Tom's stuff in here, but you didn't add the context. Are you shitting me?
Minutes long. He adds a lot of commentary, and the original video was less than 10 minutes. So by that metric, about 26 minutes of the reaction is made up with commentary from Chud, where he transforms the original content. Tom uses the word transformation as seemingly a synonym of addition, but it's not legally or how the word is generally used. To use a silly example, here's the turtle from Super Auto Pets. Now I'm gonna add a hat to it. It's still a turtle. The turtle hasn't been transformed. It's exactly as it was before. There's just a hat on it now. In the reaction,
That's literally not the same fucking thing. You're adding on to something that is a fucking piece of a picture. There is a individual here that is talking, pulling up information, actually adding more to the conversation versus a fucking hat on a turtle. Your argumentation points are ludicrously stupid.
content is still there, unchanged, in full. It's like if you compared watching a movie by yourself or with a friend. Comparatively, absolutely, your friend can add something to that experience. You might enjoy yourself more. Your experience would be different, but the content of the movie would not change even slightly. It would never.
So you're telling me that all of EFAP should be removed. So the entire channel EFAP, where they go frame by frame on a video and provide commentary for that movie, TV show, anything, that needs to be removed as well. They go frame by literal frame. They discuss a frame for fucking hours. And that needs to be removed. Is that the be-all, end-all? Those guys go above and beyond to make sure that they don't break any sort of copyright law, but EFAP needs to be removed. Because somebody made a reaction to a movie. Why? Mystery Science Theater's done it for decades.
Be transformed, regardless of how many times you pause the movie to shit talk it. What Tom is expressing here is a general principle.
I'm pissed because I hate DMCA flaggots. I hate these people because they actually harm the ecosystem more than their own moral superiority thinks. They actually get ruined. They start to erode what the content creation community should be, a symbiotic relationship. He doesn't want the symbiosis. He wants to ruin the symbiosis. He doesn't want it around anymore. And that's not good. That's harmful to everybody. Because once one domino falls, the rest fall in line with it. And then you have a communist fucking state of a bunch of idiots that are just swinging their dicks around going, well, you said this thing about me so I can take your video down because blah. Like, bro, we're going to reach that point.
Not meant to be specific to this case. So we could take the Lord of the Rings trilogy, for example, which required thousands of people over many years and $500 million to make. To remain consistent, Tom would sincerely have to believe that I could reproduce that movie in full, as long as I paused it every once in a while and gave my thoughts. I honestly...
Oh my fucking God. Oh, you're so fucking retarded, it hurts.
Find it hard to believe that he could sincerely believe that. While it is somewhat unimportant to either my or Tom's views, an interesting thing to note is that for the first time in 30 years, a fair use case actually made it to the American Supreme Court in 2022. To very briefly cover the case, The issue is whether this photograph being altered to look like this resulted in a new artwork with a different character and purpose, thereby constituting fair use, or whether it remains substantially similar to the original work, merely serving as a derivative work that infringed on copyrights. The district court judge
Thomas, you are a debate hebophile. Your parents should have hit you more.
said this was fair use, but when it was appealed, the Second Circuit judge came and said no, this was not fair use. It then went to the Supreme Court, where 2 of the justices said it was fair use, while 7 of them said it was not fair use. So you could say in the totality, 3 of the 11 judges called it fair use, while 8 of the 11 said it wasn't. People seem to wrongly have this idea that if you just add something to someone else's work, then it is immediately fair use. I am sorry, but that just is not the case. If you want more information, I have an entire series on it, but every decision in regards to fair use is against the idea of watch parties specifically being fair use.
Dude, people could still add stuff to content and make it better. Commentary content relies on the content of others to be able to critique, to be able to criticize, to be able to point out the flaws in it. If you are unable to do that, commentary and criticism doesn't exist. You can't criticize other people's works. Just because somebody does it within the medium of a live stream and sits there and has a full-blown discussion about it, that literally adds to it. Instead of it being out, what you would determine to be out of context clips, which causes more of an issue.
Some other things people stupidly call reactions, like commentary content, can be fair use, but not watch parties. How skewed
This is a form of commentary. It is.
you are at pressing the pause button and having a discussion with your chat is entirely irrelevant. To be fair, that doesn't mean definitively that there isn't going to be some hallmark case in the future where the guidelines of fair use are somehow going to be redefined so that the written words mean the opposite of how they have been interpreted in the past. Even legal professionals do disagree on fair use. It is simply that right now, nothing supports watch parties being fair use, regardless of how many times you press the pause button during it. No amount of watering down the idea of transformation will ever change that. One of the things that I tried to stress in my main thesis is that no one actually cares about fair use as it is written in the law in any region. They don't read it, and they just assume their own values are codified into law.
That's your fucking argumentation. That's your argumentation. Your values and what you believe is what everyone should believe. You are making that argumentation yourself. Just because everyone else also has their own guidelines for fair use, you can't pretend like you don't have your own preconceived biases and issues towards fair use and how you want it to be.
We will see examples of this later. In my experience, people usually believe there is both value in incentivizing people to work and rewarding them for it, and that people should freely be able to express themselves by building upon what others have worked to create. Fair use is
I don't know what you mean, Chris. It's totally normal to be sat in an English class and no reference to the book you're discussing. Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that.
ultimately putting a line that balances these two often competing ideals, and as laws in different countries place it in different spots, it is impossible to agree with fair use law as a totality. People just support the things they like and want to exist, regardless of what the law says. They only reference it when they rightly or wrongly believe it gives them credibility or can serve their goals.
It could be fair use, but I just can't say for sure. It hasn't been taken to court. I'm not the fair use expert. I think there's an argument maybe to be made from Chud logic that under the fair use criteria, it's not technically, legally fair use. But honestly, I don't really care because I'm somewhat critical of this part of fair use law. In my opinion, you should be able to play someone else's entire original work as long as you add to it.
It should be obvious, but I fundamentally disagree with the perspective Tom puts out here, and I am confident that my series argues quite well.
So this is the thing. He's going to autistically debate the semantics of what Tom just said. Tom just said if you add something to it, I have no issue with that. That is a borderline statement. The problem is that the autism that is going on in Dark Viper's head right now is hearing that and going, well, what if you add something to a video game? A copyrighted work through a publishing house with billions of dollars, and you just add one thing to it and say it's your game, and then slash the price of it by half. That's literally his argumentation. That would never happen in a real world. You want to know why? Because they would sue them for literally taking everything that is in that video. Instead of one frame, his argumentation is like, oh, I put a dog in the cutscene and now the game is mine. That's not the argumentation Tom is working with. That's not what anyone's trying to say. But your autistic brain is going to assume that's what it is. What we're talking about by adding stuff is adding opinions, more information, pulling things up, pulling different stuff. You need to understand that it's not just that video. There is actual effort put into understanding the context of said video and arguing those points of said video to be reacted to. Stop it.
That his position is untenable. In a world where there is no cost placed on copying, whether that be legal or social sanction, actually doing the work to create something will generally put you in a worse circumstance than those who just copy what others have worked to create. In a world where doing nothing and working result in the same reward, only working has a cost, and I believe that is fundamentally bad for society. This is made even worse when comparatively doing nothing results in an even greater reward than working does.
If you're reviewing an album, I think you should be able to play the entire album, every single second of it, so long as you're constantly adding commentary. If the viewer wants to go listen to that album, and that album alone, it's extremely easy to find that on YouTube for free in the same way that they would see that review. But if they're watching your review, it's my belief.
Okay, fuck off, Thomas. If I want to be able to do that, I have my God-given right to react to whatever the fuck I want and do whatever I want first impressions wise. There are people that pre-watch videos, much like myself, before I go live, to talk about the video and articulate my points. Are you retarded? Not everyone is XQC. Not everyone is Hassan. Do you have fucking brainworms? Are you a debate hebephile?
That they must want your commentary, not just the commentary of the original piece. They want to see you react to it.
Music will always be a bad example because a song can be listened to hundreds of times. You can still be listening to the same song decades later. To use a counter...
Is that not going to happen with movies? People watch movies a decade later. I still watch movies from the fucking 80s once in a while. Like, what the fuck?
Extreme example. Imagine I spent the afternoon drawing dogs. Then I made myself a bot that automatically downloads every single game on Steam and then adds my drawings of dogs to the loading screens and then re-uploads all those games back to Steam but lists them at 50% off the cost of the original.
That's not even remotely comparable to somebody adding more context and more information to debate those points. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. That's not even the argumentation. You are adding in an extra moment, an extra thing to it that makes no fucking sense. He's admitting his content is trash and has low long-term value. Yes, he's admitting that all content is trash and has no long-term value, which is crazy.
Game. I am adding something, Tom. My dog drawings are right there. I would be very surprised if he was supportive of such a thing and didn't see it as exploitative. Steam certainly wouldn't let me do it.
Chud made this video where he called Dark Viper a spurg, basically, right?
Yeah, which is true. He's a fucking spurg. I know I'm kind of like spurging out right now, but I get frustrated by these idiots that will actually put the platform in a more totalitarian state where we need to have more rules and restrictions that is going to cause more issues. YouTube is already a restrictive place. We don't need some whiny cunt to come in and make it even worse for the platform, even worse for content creation. We don't need that.
For 35 minutes, he called him a spurg.
He's such a bitter little man. That's just what all I get from this, is this guy's a bitter little autistic freak. When there's been plenty of opportunity for him to get his message out in a much more amenable way, in a much friendlier way, in a way that people are going to accept it more. But he's obsessed with this idea that, no, I've got it right. And actually pumping out massive DMs to other creators is the way to deal with this.
Not only have I only DM'd exactly one reactor, that being...
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I know you haven't. I know for a fact you haven't. I know a legitimate fact that you haven't. You've DM'd other creators. You've DM'd a lot of creators' manifestos. You've DM'd a lot of them with crazy schizophrenic manifestos. I've seen them. Don't lie to your fans here.
XQC, people's response to half a page of text may be the biggest indictment on the attention span of people today.
Oh, he's going to blame it on the attention span. Oh, thank you for the direct dono. I appreciate that. Let's see here. What we got? Oh, just thank you for the $5. I appreciate it.
Until these people find out how long the average YouTube video is. Do you know how long it takes to speak half a page? 2 minutes. I appreciate that Tom...
Do you hear the autism that's coming out of his mouth? He goes, oh, well, you know, you're just bad attention span. That it's a whole paragraph to read. Dude, most people who are normal don't text paragraphs to each other. Most of them don't. Most of them don't text paragraphs. What is wrong with you?
kind of acknowledged how dumb this double standard is.
And I was pretty much on his side. I think he was going a little autistic about it with the like paragraphs on end and people's messages. But then again, I am the like 2-hour-long video guy, so can I really talk about like autism in any way? It's just different for me because I read it off in a video instead of, you know, DMing it to people. Even if you are like a big DMCA guy, right? Like, are you just gonna like DMCA every single clip someone posts of you on YouTube because it's not technically fair use? Like, what kind of precedent is this setting? Like,
We each use the law not to the maximal degree that we can, but
You hear what Tom just said? He goes, where does it, like, where are you going to go with this? Are you going to keep striking clips? Are you going to strike other videos? That is the argument that I am presenting. Where does the line stop for where you go with this? Are you going to continue to DMCA people? Are you going to continue this stupid autistic campaign to overturn copyright law around the world? Are you going to put more creators' livelihoods at risk because of what you perceive to be the correct way of doing things? That's my issue, and that's Tom's argument.
exclusively when it helps us achieve ends we desire. For all I know, it could be illegal for the kids in my street to run on my lawn. I don't know if it is because I don't care if they do, in the same way that I don't usually care if people use clips of my stuff or make memes of my work. I don't care if people make their own videos for
Yeah, you can't DMCA me then, bitch. I've made a whole meme out of your work.
responding to mine and need to use parts of my work for context. That is all fine, but I will combat the harm that reaction content does in any way that I can.
since then, Chud Logic has been going hard on Twitter, calling his fans insufferable freaks, pulling an old clip of Viper saying the gamer word that, according to Chud, he DMCAs off of YouTube. Here's a clip in which Dark Viper says,
The N-word.
seems like this hasn't been widely seen before. That's because Dark Viper allegedly DMCA'd the person who uploaded the clip to YouTube. To be clear, I don't personally care about the word. I just feel it demonstrates Dark Viper's willingness to use the DMCA system to take things down he doesn't like, rather than to remedy breaches of copyright.
I have referenced the existence of this clip at least a dozen times, but more importantly, I am the rights holder. Of course, I'm going to take down the things I don't like that serve no.
There you go. You will DMCA things that you don't like. Okay, you got caught saying the N-word. That's on the internet forever. That's not going anywhere. Who gives a shit? Somebody clipped you out saying the N-word. Oh my God. Bo Black should start DMCAing every single human being that re-uploads the BLM song now. I know he did. I'm pretty sure he did that at one point, but he stopped doing it because it's not fucking worth it. But, like, that's a bitch move. To DMCA clips that are unfavorable of you. You need to be the guy that's like, fuck it, who cares? It's the internet. It's archived forever, and people will re-upload it everywhere. And now that you have shown that that gets under your skin, people will do it even more. You are invoking the Streisand effect for your N-word clip right now.
Constructive purpose and keep up those I do like or serve some purpose. While I do take down all 4 re-uploads of my videos, for clips, it depends on the usage. This particular clip exists for no other purpose than to allow people to disingenuously attack me with it.
Everything's disingenuous. Everything's disingenuous. What is with these politically aligned types that are fucking mentally deficient? That it's always out of context, or it's taking me out of context. You know, they said the same thing about Vosh for the whole lolly horsecock porn shit. More recent, there's more doubling down. Oh God, here. Okay, we'll deal with that later.
Because of
Thank you guys also, by the way, for all the generous donations and for the 200 plus people that are here. Thank you guys.
the mistake I made when mimicking Franklin due to my surprise at the randomized
And I'll keep raping Thomas.
dialogue. Again, I am the rights holder and therefore have every right to take it down. A clip by itself is not transformative in nature by any definition. That this clip has now been used in a video as a matter of public discussion, whether or not I have the legal right to do something about it, is irrelevant to me, because as much as I don't like it, the
Chris on URR? I don't think I'm going to ever be on URR, bro. It is what it is.
usage is still fair to me. Tom, I'm going to give you the highest possible praise I can give anyone related to these events. You are not dumb, just misinformed. If you want to talk to me publicly or privately about React content or this case, feel free to email me or join my Discord and DM me. While you do probably
I don't think Tom ever wants to fucking talk to you. You're schizophrenic. And if Tom does want to talk to you, that would actually be an interesting debate to see happen. but something tells me that the borderline normie understanding of what YouTube is and what the ecosystem is will trounce anything that your autistic fascinations have with trying to overturn what the normal creator space does. That will trounce it every time.
Deservedly have a shitty reputation. Of all the people who made videos, having a conversation with you is the least likely to see me want to kill myself to escape it. The next...
So he's saying he would just kill himself if he would debate anyone else. That's incredible, actually. You know what? That's kind of funny. Good job, Dark Viper.
video is by the creator Bo Blacks with his series Twitterverses, where he apparently...
This, to me, is maybe the most retarded part of his video. This is actually fucking brain rot, what we're about to witness.
is meant to encapsulate both sides of a feud on Twitter. In reality, he created what was easily one of the most dishonest videos I've ever seen.
It's reading tweets! It's reading tweets! You fucking dumbass. Oh my god. It's reading tweets. Why are you... Bublax made a dishonest video reading tweets about my situation.
Where he signal boosts any disgusting or false claim he can find and actively ignores everything else. This assessment is not just my opinion, but the majority opinion, to the degree that he apologized in a community post and made a second video to make things more balanced. I sincerely doubt the one-sided, slanderous nature of his first video was a mistake, but it is rare where a video about me is declared shit before I even see it. He starts off his video with the clip of me many years ago accidentally saying the N-word, and he then adds on an out-of-context insult where I was mocking.
If you meet a reactor party, I suggest you cover your glass or outright tell them you don't want them to fuck you, because they seem keen on taking a person's silence for consent. What is this? Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk. This is it is 14-page document that I'm supposed to take seriously. This. I'm supposed to take this guy seriously? I'm not supposed to make tipster AI meme videos making fun of this guy? Are you shitting me?
Reactors' insane justifications for ignoring consent. Such effort was taken to include no context that this sentence...
Because it's crazy that you wrote that in the first place. Like, how is that misrepresentative of you? That's crazy what you wrote. No one thinks that's normal.
Was copied from my essay, moved somewhere else, and then screen captured just to make sure no words surrounding it were included.
I fucking knew it. The out of context argument.
DarkViperAU's.
Have I seen the double down? I have. He's a complete retard. We're going over that later.
He was so against reaction content, in fact, that he attempted to false copyright.
Tom, I get that you get turned on by, like, debate pedophiling your way into my chat. Just understand it's not going to go well for you. my chat does not like people like you.
Strike a creator called Chud Logic.
Excuse me, not debate pedophile, debate hebophile. That's the right word.
Making a fair use 35-minute reaction to his 9-minute video.
We can immediately see the difference between Bo Blacks and Tom. I think Tom was wrong, but he admits to the ambiguity even though he disagreed with my actions. Bo Blacks out of the gate, 100% false claim, absolutely fair use. Even Chud himself
I believe it is also absolutely fair use.
was not willing to definitively say it.
I'll say it. I don't give a shit. I'll definitively say it because I believe that this should fall within doctrine of fair use. If somebody isn't doing, again, the Pokimane Hassan level reaction, I believe that should be, I believe, in my heart of hearts, right here, mi corazón, that it should be saved and protected under the doctrine of fair use. What are you going to do now?
Was fair use after the fact, and in his reaction he declared outright that he didn't legally think it was. In other words, this is staggering levels of dishonesty from Bo Blacks. I also want to point out that Chud is apparently from the UK according to his profile, and I am from Australia. A legal judgment of fair use would not use the American legal system. I'm honestly less familiar with the UK system, but I have heard it is considered to have weaker fair use laws than America.
DarkViperAU, the most pathetic specimen that he is.
Dark Viper's level of autism and schizo energy that concerns me. Such bullshit he attempted DMCA over criticism. I believe that. I am well within my right to believe that is the main issue here. I have full right to believe that. I don't give a shit what you say.
Viper has a level of autism/schizo energy that concerns me. Dark Viper AU is a total degenerate loser. Zero talent.
Alunar. Based Alunar.
Whines constantly, will engage in mass flagging and DMCA to shut down his critics. This dude is a total fucking lolcow if Nick responds true, laughing my ass off. Absolutely pathetic cretin. Lol. Over 3 times the length, laughing my fucking ass off. What a joke. I don't know, bro. Ask YouTube. Lol. Dude is a total scumbag. He should get on a call with Chud and hash this thing out like an adult. Chud Logic then sees this picture and tweets it out himself with the caption, "Very sad to hear Dark Viper AU is currently undergoing tests for gay."
The gay turbo AIDS. Dude, how can you this fucking... You're okay with memes made about you, but when someone says you have gay turbo AIDS, you take fucking issue with it.
Gay turbo AIDS. Nick responds true, laughing my ass.
Bro, how is that not funny to put in a video?
Is it true you put on a t-shirt in response to me calling you a vest-wearing bitch homosexual? Chud Logic shares a tweet of Dark Viper AU with the caption, "Dark Viper in literal tears after watching some gay fan video on Reddit. I am not joking." He then @s Dark Viper and says, "Bro!"
I feel Bo Blacks and Chud mocking me due to my being emotionally overwhelmed.
Yes! You cried like a bitch on a live stream. Oh my god. People make fun of you for that. Like, what part of the internet are you from, bro? Are you a part of like some hugbox bullshit where nobody can make fun of you? Nobody can make fun of anyone for weak moments? Who gives a shit? You made it public. If somebody wants to laugh at you for that, who cares? Like, it was about a Reddit post, and you cried.
By the kindness shown to me by my viewers shows who they are more than any words I could possibly say.
Yeah, I know he's a part of the BreadTube crowd. He was fucking, what's the word I'm looking for here? He thought that the plagiarism video the H-Bomber guy made was like revolutionary or some shit. I don't even remember. I think he said it was like good and well-researched video or some shit. But like, the H-Bomber guy video is ass.
Again, this is the entire video. Bo Black specifically looking for people insulting me or making the most obviously false claims, signal boosting them, and ignoring everyone who is explaining why these claims are false.
Okay, here we go. There's almost no supportive tweets toward Dark Viper prior to him addressing Chud Logic on his Twitter. I don't know why he's lying about it in the latest video. Dark Viper, Boblax before. I'm sorry for not including supported tweets or looking for them. Boblax now. Dark Viper AU with 1.5 million subscribers had almost no support. Please ignore supportive tweets I showed in my video, the vague 5-minute search. Can you just lie better, Boblax? Not to just claim. That's defamation. You're assuming that Boblax is lying. Boblax could sue you for defamation. You fucking creature. Dumbass.
Small bit of my faith in humanity was restored when I read the comments, for at least most people seem to realize how much of a deranged hit piece this was.
And of course, that clip wasn't taken off of YouTube because Dark Viper only wants to strike people who are mean to him on YouTube.
To be clear, Boblax is asserting without evidence that I strike people to use clips of my content if they are mean to me. He is asserting this in a video where he's being mean to me or showing clips of my content. The logical disconnect there is astounding. He's either a liar, a moron, or both.
Chud Logic also
Man, kind of ableist of you. Kind of ableist of you to call him stupid. You know that's mean to say to autistic people. How could you? Monster. That's almost as bad as Chud saying you have gay turbo AIDS.
tweets out this community post from Dark Viper and says, "I had no idea what a pathetic sad sack Dark Viper is. A few years ago he was truly miserable, down to the core of his being, over some sort of dumb speedrun drama. Can't even figure out what he was so upset about here. I'm about to cut a mountain of videos on this freak." He then shows the community post where Dark Viper links a Twitch clip and says,
Confusing, what the fuck? It was the last straw for me. I was checking my suppressor due to the change in strategies on Big Score. I have been doing less and less OHKO runs over the last few months due to truly hating the category. The rewards for success are now being non-existent and my general fatigue. That was Dark Viper's video? You're shitting me. But I would rather be shot in the head than continue right now. I'm not the sort of person who fake being interested in something, so finding time when I am mentally engaged enough to do a run has become harder and harder. Being spammed at about unnamed and that I should take a break has been some of the worst experiences I've had in almost a decade of making content online. Just take a break. Just take a break. I've never missed being a small content creator until now. I miss seeing a comment with bullshit in it and being able to make a video on a whim responding to it. Now merely acknowledging falsehoods gives them greater life than what you were initially trying to extinguish with your response. Dude, even smaller creators shouldn't do that. Like, what the fuck? I am truly miserable, down to the core of my being. Obviously, I hate Unnamed, and his doing shit for the memes. But those of you who read this, who have sent me bullshit over the last few weeks, fuck you. I'm not a bad person. I've always done the best that I could. My best is not good enough for this shit anymore. And I will stream. All I will stream is the weekly chaos. I will try to work on stuff despite being so miserable.
What the fuck does any of this have to do with anything at all?
Because it's funny to laugh at you. And Bo Blacks put it in there because it was a popular tweet. You don't know his content, do you?
How did you make this and not think I am now reading a copy of a post from years ago that's something no one knows anything about, or because a guy named Chud Logic linked it on Twitter? This is the sort of moment you look in the mirror and think, holy shit, what am I doing with my life?
I'm laughing at you.
While I have somewhat brushed over it, I feel this represents the insane level these people dug through my life. I was surprised I didn't find them digging through my literal trash outside of my house.
Oh my god, he's doing the whole, oh, drama content creators are horrible. They're horrible people. They dug through my most embarrassing moments and pulled it up to laugh at me. Oh god, I'm a monster. They're such monsters, man. Bro, you're a lol cow. That's why they laughed at you. You're funny to laugh at, you fucking loser.
This was all just really sad.
Chud Logic continues to clown on Dark Viper when he shares this clip of him and captions it by saying, here's a clip in which Dark Viper saying N-word with an A.
I'll be honest with you, I still find that clip very funny, even though I do recognize that it is a risk to my brand.
Okay, I'm glad he's self-aware enough to find that funny. You know what? Points to Dark Viper for owning the N-word. Owning it. You know what? Points. See, I can be fair and balanced.
Chud Logic isn't the only one clowning on Dark Viper, as Nicholas Diorio...
The Nicholas did Rio?
Oh my god! This is, I'm not gonna lie, this is a funny fucking Dark Viper moment. Again, another funny moment. You know what? This is funny. This is a funny moment. I will give Dark Viper that. I'll give him that.
The guy's so fragile that he blocked me that time despite that we'd never spoken? This man is bringing in the big guns, mate. I'm done for.
Nick responds, true, laughing
I'm not gonna lie. That was funny.
my ass off.
I want to highlight this tweet from Willie Macshow.
Willie Macshow responds to Tom by saying, I agree, especially coming from the fair use guy.
In my work, multiple times, I've specifically laid out that my criticism of reaction content has nothing to do with fair use. Willie here showcases how none of these people had any interest in watching even one of the videos I've made outlining my...
Man, oh man, if I was only allowed to show the DMs. Oof. I don't know if I got express from permission to show these. This whole segment from Dark Vipers would age poorly if I showed these. Would age terrible even. And he would look like a deranged schizophrenic. But I don't know if I have permission to show them. So I'm just going to leave it up to your imagination.
Thoughts on this topic. Yet even
Use your imagination, chat. Use your imagination. That segment about Willie. Oof. This one little segment, it does not age well with what I've seen.
despite being aware of the ignorance, they don't care. They still make claims like this one. I actually DM'd Winnie Mac Show and said, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm clearly not the fair use guy. He shit you not said, bro, if you're not the fair use guy, why are you in my DMs talking about fair use? Like if he called me the king of Lego and I messaged him and said, hey, I'm not the king of Lego, what are you talking about? But really, that will be all the confirmation that he needs that I am actually the king of Lego. None of these people, when wanting to understand my positions or why I was doing what I was doing, thought to look at the entire series that explains exactly that. I sincerely cannot.
Dude, we can all agree regardless, and all of our opinions are DMCAing someone for doing a reaction, a fair reaction, is unnecessary. We don't need to see the rest of it. Plus, if anyone went over it on stream to talk about it, to give their thoughts, you would DMCA them. So you're not allowing full-blown actual conversation to be had with an audience to boot.
Fathom that level of stupidity or indifference to the truth.
Luckily, YouTube's copyright system.
That was a very that concluded pretty quickly. Man, I want to leak these so bad. I want to leak these. I want to leak these so fucking bad.
Isn't completely broken, and there are circumstances where YouTube will not put through the strike.
None of these people feel that YouTube's copyright system works well, or that YouTube has fooled us.
I'm not going to leak them. Willie trusts me.
But when it makes a decision they agree with, immediately YouTube is a perfect authority. We
Confusing. That means you're going to break the trust that you have with a large creator. Why would you do that?
know it was fair use because YouTube said so. When YouTube does something they don't agree with, YouTube isn't an authority on anything. But when it does something they agree with, it's an authority they can listen to. So in reality, YouTube is never an authority. They're actually just referencing their own belief to substantiate that belief in a form of circular reasoning.
He definitely could have false copyright striked Chud's channel and put it at the verge of termination, which is completely unacceptable, especially considering this guy is trying to advocate for and talking about the nuances around transformative reaction content. To misuse copyright like this.
Not all of them broken. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Not only makes him look like an asshole and a piece of shit, but
yes,
also shows
yes.
that he doesn't actually know what he's talking about in regards to his criticism of reaction content.
Bullblacks never even attempts to argue why my claim was false, why Chud...
Because Chud added more of his own opinions, criticism, and information to said video. It's pretty blatant.
use was fair, or why I'm apparently a copyright abuser. He doesn't try to do this
because you struck someone unnecessarily for no reason.
Because these claims are bullshit, and he likely knows that to some degree. Now that YouTube has rightly acted on my claim, I'm sure these guys will come crawling to me with apologies. Obviously not. So that was the...
There will be no apologies because you harassed YouTube until they sided with you. You got a lawyer involved. Nobody should be apologizing to you. I still will blatantly say that you unnecessarily filed a DMCA claim against Chud. Done. That's my opinion. Now you can suck my cock and accept that or cry about it. Those are really your two options here.
Conclusion of his impressively garbage video, but of course there was a second one that eventually came out. At this point I had made a few tweets on the issue, so his video necessarily wasn't as one-sided.
So in my last video on this topic, I talked about how the small streamer Chud Logic had the larger streamer DarkViperAU attempt to take down
I'm gonna be real, Bubblax should not have phrased it that way.
his channel by filing
It's content creation. I don't give a shit if you're small, if you have 1 sub to 1 million subs. You're all treated the same.
a copyright complaint to YouTube for Chud Logic's video reacting to DarkViperAU's 9-minute video with 20+ minutes of extra commentary, even saying that he'll sue him if YouTube doesn't follow through with the copyright complaints. But they didn't, so...
When you file a DMCA claim with YouTube, you are affirming that you have a legal case that you will pursue if necessary. Many people claim that we can't really know if Chud's use was fair without going to court, to which I said, okay, I will go to court. And this apparently broke their minds. Not that there was much to break.
Yeah, you're gonna go to court and waste your money and Chud's money for a lawyer and a judge to determine that you are insane or you're right. That's the crazy thing. You are going to try and usher in an era of YouTube that is going to basically wipe an entire genre out. Do I believe that non-transformative reactions are a problem? Yes. But you trying to wipe it out in general and take everybody else out is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And it's crazy that you want to go to court about it. And then sue Chud for potential defamation. Are you insane?
Anyway, I think his sincerity was best expressed by my conversation with Xanderholt.
But a couple days later, he did give the answer in response to...
Okay, Xander Hall is a borderline retard. So I can't take what Xander Hall says seriously most of the time.
Xander Hall, which happened because Called Rocket tweeted at DarkViperAU saying, "What's up with that copyright strike, you hypocritical sack of shit? Man, I listened to you." Dark Viper responds, "If you listened, you were either deaf or didn't understand." Xander Hall quote tweets him and says, "I hate Chud logic and all, but this is genuinely disgusting. Imagine being so convinced your standard of fair use is the only correct one that you threaten to sue if YouTube doesn't agree with your copyright strike.
Yes.
Please chill the fuck out so I can enjoy your future GTA 6 videos." Dark Viper responds, "To be clear, you find it weird that a person who wants to file a legal claim believes themselves correct in their justification for doing so and is willing to go to court to argue in favor of their claim? Buddy, wait till you find out what DMCA in the legal system is for. Or is your genuine disgust directed at the idea that I don't trust YouTube to assess claims related to copyright? A position held by seemingly half the people on this website. Seems
Who are the half people that are okay with the idea of YouTube gaining more power? Or that DMCA and law and people that create the governmental bodies that allow content to be transformed and used. Why would anyone be okay with that? You must be a complete fucking dipshit to want these policies changed and the Millennium Copyright Act touched or anything involving other countries' ideas of IP to change. Why do that? You're gonna make it more difficult for everybody. Stop it.
sensible given
That's my argumentation line, is that you are going to bring it down to a level where these dipshit fucking companies, these dipshit DMCA abusers are going to be emboldened and make it worse.
that YouTube has no legal right to make such assessments and acts in self-interest. Chud Logic then makes a slightly more serious response when he shares this clip and says, "Cope homo nonsense." He was terrified to even discuss this publicly. I hear on the grapevine, he has been in the DMs of various content creators running desperate damage control.
This was just
I gotta do a quick stream today, guys, so once it's over, I'm gonna rage you over to Nick later.
me talking to Witty Mac about him calling me a fair use guy. Despite that we'd never spoken before, we did already follow each other on Twitter, so I figured why not. The reason we followed each other is because of that old adage, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Both of us think Hassan Piker is a blight on humanity and have made efforts to explain that to others. Obviously I'm likely more left-wing than he is, but we do agree on at least that much.
Look at Tipster's chat. Fuck Zach, James, and Ethan. They're just using Boblax and Virtue Signal to make him look better. What the fuck is happening?
I know a lot of you guys in the last video were upset about the lack of me showing the other side of the argument in the last video about this, which I do apologize for. I should have searched harder for people advocating for DarkViperAU.
What do you mean search harder? Every post had people defending me. You didn't just not find them,
Every post had people defending me. You're shitting me.
you actively ignored them and lied to your audience. So Boblax's videos were a combination of sincere malice and stupidity.
Malice and stupidity. Malice in reading tweets. You're shitting me, right? You are clinically autistic, like to a almost haunting degree. Malice? Really? Like, what the... And Boblax even did a follow-up video to add tweets that are in support of you. Like, he did what was necessary. He calling it malicious. You're so fucking... You're killing
This
me.
next video by Optimus lacks the malice, but it makes up for it with even more stupidity. Is DarkViperAU abusing copyright to silence critics? ... question mark?
I don't know, man. I feel like it's pretty cut and dry. Like, we already kind of have established standards for how content creators in the community are supposed to act towards one another, and quite a big point that's not necessarily unspoken, but just kind of like comes with the territory, if that makes sense, is the idea that you don't falsely copyright claim or realistically just kind of copyright.
He's talking about the moral argumentation. It's not something written in law. It's something that every creator feels towards each other. No creator should be DMCAing another creator unless it is a full re-upload of that content in its entirety. I'm talking about if there's nothing added to it whatsoever. That could be DMCA. Nobody's going to argue that. But if a creator is criticizing you, using your video for full context so that they can laugh at you, and you strike that, that's already crossing a line. Like, what is wrong with you?
Claim anyone's content for any reason that's not for copyright related issues.
Clearly it was for copyright related issues. In fact, my claim specifically outlined all the copyright related issues. You'd think that while Optimus is making up so-called unwritten rules, which are actually just the way he personally thinks people should act, surely he should add to that list that you shouldn't be re-uploading other people's videos.
But he did not re-upload it in full, you absolute fucking idiot.
Especially when they make abundantly clear that they don't want you to. No, not gonna add that one to the list. It is abundantly clear throughout this video that these
But you are saying it's a full re-upload. The overall majority of people are not saying that is a full re-upload. You have dug this mental ditch in your head that if someone even sniffs at the idea of reacting to your stuff, is just destroying it. Chud added an additional 25 to 30 minutes of commentary to discuss how stupid your point was. That is adding enough for the video to not be a market replacement. No one is watching the Chud Logic video to watch the Dark Viper video because they don't want to watch it on Dark Viper's channel. That's not a market replacement.
quote unwritten rules are just Optimus's way of skirting the reality that he can't actually defend his perspective, and he therefore just asserts consensus, which is a weak argument even if you can demonstrate it, which obviously Optimus can't. Optimus even notes all the people that defended me by saying that uploading another person's video in full is not okay.
And for those of you who are going
Dude, you're nitpicking here. We are talking about an actual full re-upload with nothing added to it. That's what we're talking about. And you aren't understanding that that is the argumentation point. Fuck.
to come in here and make the argument, oh, well, what Chud did was not fair use, blah, 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 blah. You can't just take someone's video. Because that's like kind of what people are already trying to defend Dark Viper with, right? Is, oh, well, you can't just use somebody else's video. You can't just upload somebody else's content. You can't just take someone else's shit. So...
But you see, to Optimus, these people aren't a part of the so-called unwritten rules club, so they don't really matter.
And unfortunately, a lot of...
What the fuck? That's not what he's saying at all.
Creators, this is what they do. You know, they don't like a video that somebody makes about...
Hey, Levi, how about you pull your head out of your ass and jump? That would be great. That'd be amazing. I love that for you. You know, you can take care of yourself, your family.
They don't like a video, whatever, you know, and the first thing that they'll
I don't take any of you people seriously. None of you.
do is they'll try and get the video copyright claimed and taken down.
Dude, the video had 1,000 views. You are saying these words while in the process of making a video that you don't think I will like, and you do this without a single bit of fear. You obviously don't trust YouTube. You don't know whether they'll take down your video and strike your channel if I ask. Either a part of you must know that I would never ask YouTube to do that, making you dishonest, or you don't understand how your own actions conflict with your statements, making you an idiot. At this point, there might be like 100 videos critical of me on the internet. I guess in all...
And now 101, and then Nick also has one, and then Chud's gonna probably do. Nah, you know what? Because you threatened to sue him for defamation. Like a retard. I don't think Chud's gonna talk to me. I will surely do it. I don't care.
Optimus's mind in my 10-year career, I just never noticed any of those videos, so never had the opportunity to strike them down.
DarkViperAU, which honestly is actually a creator I enjoy. I watch a lot of his Grand Theft Auto 5 videos in depth about the lore and whatnot, so I actually like this guy. I enjoy his content, but the coverage, obviously, of DarkViperAU's video in the first place was a little more negative, okay? It was a little bit more critical from what I've read and what everything is saying here. So that might be the potential motive for why DarkViperAU would have struck the...
Levi, you're just trolling. You're not a real human being. You're an NPC. You're a bot, dude. You're no better than Nightbot in the chat.
Video or like claimed the video.
How is it possible to know of me of any degree? Hell, you even watch my content, then
And whatnot. So I actually like this guy.
What the fuck?
First place, everything. Struck the...
Then see me strike a reaction video, something I've campaigned for years.
It's almost like Optimus said he watched your GTA videos and not your dumb fuck copyright videos. You've got to be shitting me.
As harmful to everyone, and conclude that I took down that reaction for any other reason.
Is because basically Chud was, I guess, somehow being too truthful or like was being too critiqued, you know, I whatever you want to say.
Chud being too truthful. Are you serious? Did you even watch his fucking video? What you would have
Yeah, he shit on you.
helped you, Optimus, because he had no idea what he was saying, and he may as well have just repeated over and over again that I had super AIDS. Like,
Yeah, he shit on you. Welcome to commentary. I know you're trying to make a commentary channel. It's not. Welcome to commentary.
if you knew nothing of Chud, just scroll his Twitter for like 10 minutes. The idea that anyone in existence could sincerely think that Chud is capable of forming coherent thoughts is insane to me.
A few years ago, he made like this big post or whatever about React content which in it he essentially compared React streamers to people who go around in real life and drug and rape people, so...
I just wish every person who makes that claim would care enough to go back and read my old essay.
Then why did you write it in the first place? If you knew it was schizophrenically stupid, why did you even put it in there? You made it a joke. You've made it the main focus because you wrote that if you're at a party with a reactor, you might as well cover your drink because they don't care about consent. Like, what the fuck? You did that to yourself.
Charlie apologized and we're cool now, but goddamn did it take me a really long time to get over how I'm going to have to listen to this bullshit repeated from people who have never read or listened to a single thing I've ever said on the topic. Hassan Piker will say things like, they do consent,
It was a hyperbolic analogy that made him look like a retard, Levi. It made him look like a retard. It made him look schizophrenic. Do you not understand why everyone thinks that's crazy to even write in the first place? I'm sorry. Did we not just have a massive drama with Vosh saying that child pornography should be on par with child slavery? And you should, you know, it's not that big of a deal because people are okay with child slavery. So why are people mad at fucking child porn? Like, that's the same kind of hyperbolic bullshit that I'm looking at it as.
absolutely would consent. You know, if he imagines you consent, then you do. Or he'd say, if I had to ask for consent, then I couldn't do whatever I wanted whenever I wanted to. Or he'll say, look, if the person finds out what I didn't like it, and later confronts me about it, I just won't do it again. That's basically consent, right? When I mock these statements and say, if you heard someone speaking like this, you'd cover your glass and move to the other side of the room, people act like I'm coming entirely out of left field, and the statements I am mocking are not absolutely fucked up, which goddamn, yes they are. I am sorry, but these statements deserve to be mocked, and the people making them are pieces of shit, and in the
I will keep mocking you until the day you give up. Until you see your family again. Which apparently you haven't seen them in a long time.
context of my original essay, these references are still perfectly fine. Would they have made it into the final cut? Probably not, it was after all a draft, but I would only have removed them to avoid knee-jerk reactions, not because these analogies fail to effectively highlight how fucked up
It wasn't effective. It made you look crazy.
these statements are. To be clear, I was mocking statements about ignoring consent, not drawing direct parallels between reaction content and sexual assault. This, of course, is not news to anyone who read the essay. If I wanted to say reaction content was the same as rape, I probably would have just done that. You know, the essay would have contained the words rape or sexual assault at least once.
I think it's important.
You literally said that a reactor. Bro, like, that's just a crazy thing to write. I don't care that you did it, but you getting upset that everyone's focusing it on the most hyperbolic part of the document is crazy. You shouldn't have included it then. Like, Fighting for other people. Fuck you. You are just like the Mama Max fan base. He's fighting for other people. He's fighting. He'll never give up. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you and your moral crusade. Fuck Dark Viper and his moral crusade. Nobody gives a shit. You guys are a bunch of fucking losers. Sheep even.
To talk about, right? Because I mean, I think it's dumb when people get into these fucking DMCA arguments, right? I mean, sure, I'm certain as a creator myself, it's not fun when other people make a negative video about you or they critique what you have to say or whatever. But that's part of what this whole thing is, man. Like, that's part of the job here, right? So it's a genuinely pathetic move to just use the copyright system as a way to try and get rid of people criticizing you. I mean, if you're gonna voice your opinion and you're gonna put shit out there online and talk about things, you have to be willing for people to talk back and like actually address it.
When I found the time, I literally spent months responding to videos critical of me, tearing them to shreds. This is obviously how I
tearing them to shreds. Dude, this guy has such a fucking high opinion of himself. It's nauseating.
I traditionally respond to genuine criticism. The level of uninformed you have to be to suggest that I take down videos because they're critical of me is baffling.
Ultimately, this whole situation would have never have happened if DarkViperAU did not issue the copyright claim.
Or a guy could have just not re-uploaded my video. He obviously could have watched my video in his own time and then talked about how much he didn't like it. He didn't do that though. He just sat his fat ass and hosted a watch party for it. It's like Optimus.
It's not a watch party, you fucking retard.
Thinks I'm mind controlling people to force them to sit on their asses and host watch parties of other people's shit. Optimus apparently is going to watch The Lion King on stream tomorrow and be like, "You can't sue me, Disney. You made me do this." Delusional.
You can't sue me. I made a meme out of your fucking dumb shit video, bro.
Based on pretty much any real interpretation.
Oh, Levi, you come back after I compared you and your little savior to Mama Max, and now you're coming back in here with another debate tactic. Okay, bro. Listen, how about you just leave my stream? That'd be great, because I don't like you. I think you're a sheep. I think you're sheeple. I think you're somebody that humanity will never remember. I think you're somebody that humanity, you'll be put in a box, and when your family dies, nobody will pay attention and forget your name. The graveyard won't be able to take care of your headstone, and it'll be slowly decayed over time to the point where your name won't even show up on it.
Interpretation of fair use. I mean, what Rational Chat or Chud Logic here did was fair use. I mean, the original video by DarkViperAU was like 9 minutes long, okay? Irrational Chat / Chud Logic or whatever takes that video and then spins it into a 35-minute video responding to it, which is 4 times as long as the original video. It's a critique / commentary video, which is expressly protected in every definition of fair use. I mean, anyone with a fucking brain can tell that this is a pretty clear case of fair use based on what we're seeing here.
I would never understand people who have never in their entire lives taken even a peek at the guidelines of fair use or read any of the relevant cases.
And your family will forget about you in less than a year when you die, Levi. But hey, at least I'm having fun.
Who seem very confident what is or is not defended by fair use. Merely adding to the link for the video does not constitute fair use. Let me just be lazy for once. Let's talk about fair use in regards to commentary and criticism as explained by Stanford. Commentary and criticism. If you are commenting upon or critiquing a copyrighted work, for instance, writing a book review, fair use principles allow you to reproduce some of the work to achieve your purposes.
But the thing is that regardless, we are still adding to that. We're still doing that. This is fun. This is fun. These people are fun. Oh, God, have fucking mercy. Is he just going to go on a diatribe again? Yeah, he's going to go on a diatribe. Let me think here. This was supposed to be a quick stream anyways. How long? Oh, shit. Okay. Fuck. Okay, I went way over time. I was supposed to only do like an hour and 30 to 2 hours. Shit. Okay. Let me think. Wasn't even home. Was getting McDonald's prior. I was working on my video. You're an idiot. The first comment I read was like 5 minutes ago. And as far as I'm aware, there are not enough delusional people for the comments to be noticeable. Dude, your entire audience is delusional. Look at these retards in my comment section right now. Yeah, I resort to insults because you're nothing but a creature, a stain on humanity. Your parents probably hate you. And if your parents are dead, they're probably glad that you're not around. Get owned, dude. This is my arena. Let's see here. all the traumatic moments. Dark Viper saying that he's on a soundboard for H3H3 is harassment. That is the funniest fucking thing of all time. What is this? This guy literally created rack streaming to rape. I suspect you don't care, but I'll give it a go. The comparison was between ignoring consent and financial gain and ignoring consent for sexual gratification. I was being a dick, sure, by pointing that out. There's obviously correlation between the two. You have taken one tweet from a thread where I pointed out this was hyperbole and not stating they were equivalent. It's still a crazy thing that you said in the first place. Like, what is wrong with you? You can argue against my actual beliefs if you like. I don't need to be dishonest to make yourself feel better if you like this while liking Hassan, who constantly complains about getting taken out of context. That's kind of sad, bro. Like, how did Hassan come into this conversation? Oh, okay, I'm seeing it. Listening to Hassan cowardly debate me via proxy on his stream is one of the most infuriating experiences. Okay, fair enough, Dark Viper. I'll give it to you. There's more. I don't know if I could do any more. Yeah, I'm way over my time. Shit. Because I had to go pick up a friend who just came up from Long Island. I got to go grab him. Fuck. All right. Guys. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry that we couldn't do more. But I will let you know right now on Twitter, anyone can now use on Twitter now, everybody is allowed to have full-blown access. Right now with corrections. Are you serious? Are you fucking joking? Do I have to delete this? All right, fine. I'll do it later. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to send you guys over to Nick right now because I literally need to run today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the trolling. I hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of trolling that we did today. And I'll see you guys in the next